Is yoga really boring? Stick around if you want to find out why people say this and why it's not true. Hi everybody, I'm Spira. Welcome to my channel where I like to talk about yoga. I like to teach yoga, and I like to teach other ways of self-healing and self-care, including creativity and meditation and mindfulness. Now, oftentimes when I'm having a conversation with someone about yoga, when they find out that I teach yoga, it seems that they want to express some level of respect. So they'll say something like, "Oh, that's so cool. That's great. It's so good for you," and all that. And then they'll add something like, "I tried it, but I just couldn't do it," or "it wasn't very fun," or "it was kind of boring," things like that. And I find that really comical because, first of all, I was a public school teacher for many years before I started to teach yoga. And as a school teacher, I often will have students say things like, "This is boring," when it's really not. It's just that either they don't get it, or they're not sure what the purpose is, or they just don't understand how to do it right. So they often say things like it's boring. Well, one of the things I'm learning is that adults are very much the same. When they don't understand something and they don't know how to get into it, they'll call it boring. So let me explain to you why yoga is not boring. So first of all, yoga is not a workout. This is a huge misconception that a lot of Americans have. It's not a workout, it's a work-in. So what that means is this practice, and yoga practice is not just what happens when you go to a yoga class. It's not just the asana. The asana is the actual poses. You know, that is not what yoga is. Yoga is a very full, beautiful life philosophy and practice. And it includes a lot of different elements. It actually has 8 limbs, which are the elements of a yoga practice. And so the asana is a very small part of it. Now, the reason why I think a lot of people think it's boring is, well, I have a few. For one, yoga is challenging, and yoga requires you to work. Even though it's not a workout, it requires you to work inwards. In other words, tuning into your body. Now, if you think that tuning into yourself is boring, let's pause and think about that for a second. Is tuning into yourself, are you boring? Think about that. The problem is that a lot of people cannot do that. A lot of people cannot just sit with themselves. And I think especially now during this pandemic, we can see the results. People are losing their minds. They're literally protesting because they can't go out and get a haircut. That is insane. Just sit your ass down and be with yourself for a little bit. The problem is that people can't because they stay in their heads. They don't do any healing work. They don't take the time to look within because everyone has some kind of painful feelings or thoughts. And we have been taught as a society to get away from uncomfortable feelings or thoughts and to keep busy. So we work out, we run around and do things, we work a lot. There are a lot of things that people do. We watch TV, we watch Game of Thrones. I don't watch Game of Thrones. People watch stuff like that. They'll get addicted to TV series. They go out every weekend. They drink themselves into a stupor. When do they actually stop? When do you actually stop? When do you stop and actually go out and take a slow walk and look at the trees and look at all the little animals that are going about their day, doing their little business routines, right? When do we stop? Which brings me to this. So you can't look at a yoga practice, a practice that is an inward practice, whose purpose is to help you unify your mind and your body, which a lot of people have a hard time doing. And if you see that as boring, it's because you're not looking in the right place. What you're doing is you're looking externally for stimulation. And it's funny because the person that I was talking to last time it came up, she actually said something like, you know, when I'm when I'm in my boxing class, for example, which is actually pretty awesome. I love that she does boxing. She said, you know, they play music and we're jumping around and we're having a good time and it's really fun. And I thought, well, that's awesome. And it sounds like a lot of fun. And I think that, you know, exercising should be fun. I totally agree with that. It's just that that's not what yoga is. It's not your workout. It's supposed to be your work in. Now, if you happen to gain some strength along the way, you know, maybe you get more muscle toned or whatever, that's lovely. But the purpose of yoga asana is actually to strengthen the body, to prepare it for sitting in long periods, to assist the body in preparing for meditation. And to sit in meditation with your back straight for long periods of time is hard to do. And so we practice the physical part of yoga, the asana, so that we can strengthen the spine muscles, we can lengthen the body, so that we can stay flexible and limber and healthy in order to go in and meditate and breathe and do that part of the practice. So yoga is not boring, my friends. Yoga is only boring if you're looking for external stimulation and entertainment. If you're really looking to get out of yoga what people really do get out of yoga and why they continue coming to the mat and why they continue to practice regularly no matter what, you'll see that it's really about connecting your body with your mind. So don't give up your boxing, don't give up your aerobics classes. Yes, they still have aerobics classes, or your pump classes, or your bike, the cycling class. Don't give up any of that if you want to practice yoga, because that's your workout. Yoga is for all the other stuff. So I hope that makes it a little easier to understand. And if you like this video and you found it helpful at all, please hit the like button. And if you want to see more videos like this, then hit subscribe. And also please feel free to comment on this video if you agree or if you disagree, if you've practiced yoga and if you get what I'm talking about, or if you tried it and you were one of those people that thought it was boring. I would like to hear what you have to say as well. And then I'd like to hear what you have to say after watching this. So thanks again for tuning in, and I will see you next time. Have a lovely day. Namaste.